Spare keys for the police house, Sergeant. I've had copies cut for the new chap.
So why are you giving them to me? Why not put them in a box? Or is there something else?
Actually, it's this move to the Met. I know it's what I wanted, but ever since the posting came through...
Cold feet?
It's more than that. I don't want to leave Aidensfield.
It's a bit late now, lad. PC Weatherby arrives soon.
I know. And even if I did want to stay, it's not exactly going to fill your heart with any joy, is it?
If the Met doesn't suit, you can always try for a country posting later on.
Here he is, Queer.
Oh, you're okay. Never did learn the art of travelling light. Don Weatherby, reporting for duty.
Phil Bellamy. I'll get Sergeant Miller. And this is Jeff Younger.
How do you do?
I've got a set of dumbbells in my bag. Can have a lend if you want. Build yourself up a bit.
Thank you.
So, the Sarge. What's he like? Can't be worse than my last one. He was a riot.
You'll find me firm, but fair, I like to think.
There's nothing like the moors, is there? I hear you're off to the Met. Not a lot of sheep there. How can you leave all this?
My secretary's explained your dilemma, Mr. Philpott. It's not entirely straightforward.
I realise that. I just want to see my son.
Jimmy Masters.
Well, legally, he's still Jimmy Philpott. His mother and I are divorced, but I never let a new husband adopt him. I've been out in Rhodesia the last 4 years. I'll be applying for shared custody.
Rhodesia?
I'm in the security forces. Don't believe the newspapers. It's a great place to live. You're not going to let me see him, are you?
Well, legally, I can't.
It's been 4 years, man. He's my kid. But, can you tell me anything about him, at least? How's he doing? Is he happy?
Jimmy's a nice boy. He's in the top stream, about halfway in his class. He's keen on cars and engines. And yes, he seems happy.
OK, if you're ready, just leave it for me, Jimmy. Don't worry, it won't hurt. As far as you can, please. That's taking modesty a bit far, isn't it? That's nasty. How'd you come by that, then?
Oh.
Just pop your shirt off for me, would you?
I fell, like I said.
Shirt, Jimmy.
I was mending my dad's engine on the Land Rover and the bonnet fell on me.
So, my new kingdom, eh?
If you like.
You get much trouble?
Some.
Ah, that's why you're off, is it? Bigger fish, bigger puddles. Well, it's a mistake, trust me. I'll stay in a cushy place like this for life.
This place isn't as cushy as you might think. There's a real knack to it.
Oh, don't you worry about me, mate. I'll be fine.
Come in. All done?
Yeah.
Good. How's the appeal going?
Ground to a bit of a halt, I'm afraid. We're £200 short.
Well, if the school can help in any way.
Actually, I'd like to have a word with you about one of the boys. Jimmy Masters in 1P.
It's the second time his name's come up today. Something we should be concerned about.
Maybe. He's quite badly bruised. I asked him about it and he was, well, vague. I wondered if we should involve the police.
We must support Nurse Cassidy's appeal. It's a very good cause, and it shouldn't be impossible to raise £200.
I just think it's amazing what they can do these days.
My sister needed dialysis 3 times a week before she passed away. Up and down to London. It wore her out. Now, a dialysis machine at Ashfordley General would make a great deal of difference to a great many people.
Only if we can raise the rest of the money.
I know. What about a talent contest? In my youth, I was known as the Gracie Fields of Filey.
Hiya. What can I get you?
Actually, I'm looking for B&B for a week or so, maybe longer.
You get an excellent breakfast here. Best eggs and bacon this side of the Pennines.
Hey, I'm waiting for eggs, actually. He's late today. Do you want to come through? I'll book you in.
Sally, Sally, don't ever wonder.
All right, thank you. We don't have a music license here.
This is Don Weatherby. He's replacing me.
Pleased to meet you. Yeah. Don, was it?
PC Weatherby. It's best to preserve the formalities, don't you think? It's always awkward having to arrest someone who knows you by your first name.
I hope you won't be arresting me.
Well, that depends on how often you break the law.
Well, I've been known to do a spot of mass murdering when business was on the slow side.
But only when there's an R in the month.
When will you be leaving, PC Mason?
Monday.
Don't you worry. You'll have me to keep you on your toes.
So you think the boy's been beaten?
Well, it's not a one-off event like he claims. Some of those bruises are weeks old. The head's very hot on bullying here, so I've been inclined to find out more about the family. I booked him an emergency appointment at Ashfordley General, but I can't get hold of his mother, and I need her permission at least.
Yeah, well, you keep trying. I'll have a word with Jimmy.
I'll be gentle. Of course you will, I'm sorry.
How about a quiz show?
Take your pick.
Double your money.
Excellent choice. I never miss it. How about it, Blaketon? £1 to enter and all the proceeds to Nurse Cassidy's appeal?
Well, how do we raise the prize money?
I'll put it up. Should be rather amusing.
Oh, that's very generous, my lord. I'm afraid I'm not familiar with the game.
It's quite simple. You choose a specialist subject. The first question wins you £1, then each question doubles in value.
Get one wrong and you lose the lot.
And if you get the £16 question right, you can go for the 32.
And if I'm footing the bill, that's the highest we will be going for. We could stage it here, Blaketon.
You could be Huey Green, Oscar.
Oh, yeah, Gina, and you can be his glamorous assistant, Monica Rose.
I'm not being Monica Rose, she's dead common.
All right, who was that one before Monica? The blonde woman with the big earrings.
Oh, Sabrina. What could have a go at Sabrina?
Lots of men have felt the same way, Gina.
Hang on. There has to be a prize for the winner.
Where's your public spirit? All the money goes to Carol's appeal.
Yeah, but folk won't want to make fools of themselves for no.
It's a fair point.
I know. Anyone who gets the £32 question right gets free drinks.
For a week?
For the night.
Well, if there's a prize, there should be a forfeit. I mean, after all, nobody has to go for the £32 question.
Excellent idea, Gina. You think up some good forfeits. I'll keep people on their toes. We have a plan, then. On the strict condition, Blaketon, that you give us your Huey Green.
Why have you called a policeman? I haven't done anything wrong.
No, nobody thinks that you've done anything wrong, Jimmy. We're just a bit concerned about your bruises. We'd like you to see a doctor.
Nobody's hit me, honest. The bonnet fell down on top of me.
Keen on motors, are you?
It wasn't my dad.
What's this?
Double your money. Any suggestions for questions will be gratefully accepted.
And this is PC Don Weatherby.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Get you lads a drink?
We're on duty. I'm surprised at you, Mr. Blaketon. I thought you were in the force.
Before you were born, Constable.
Can I get you a drink?
Yeah, mine's a bit.
I expect things have changed since your day. I'll soon sort this place out.
Won't that be nice?
Gina, sorry I'm so late. I've had the morning from you.
Hey! I'm not having
Stop! That's enough! Stop!
I didn't do anything. You saw that.
Go back where you came from. You're not wanted here.
Enough! Do you know this man, sir?
Aye, he knows me right, and I know him.
Think you'd better step outside till you've calmed down a bit. Will you be pressing charges, sir? That was an unprovoked assault. We all witnessed it.
Don?
This is my patch now, Mason.
Not yet, it's not. But I think we can sort this out privately, don't you, sir? Be best all round.
I recommend you do press charges. In fact, I urge you to.
This is better than Bonanza.
Come on!
Yes, I want to press charges for assault.
Why, you?
I'm sorry you all had to witness that. But this man is the man who ruined my life.
Female undergarments through the ages.
I bet you'll be wanting something on cars, won't you, Mr. Scripps?
Hey, I'm not entering.
Have you thought up the forfeits yet, Gina?
I've got a few ideas, but they're for me to know.
And who's setting the questions, Oscar? I mean, we want everything square and above board, don't we?
Whoever suggests the category sets the question.
As long as they don't answer them themselves, if that's what you're thinking.
Do you know, Hughie Green is always very polite. I think you might find that a bit of a challenge, Mr. Blaketon.
Don't you dare smile.
What's happened? Is it Jimmy?
Mrs. Masters,
What, tell me.
we've arrested your husband, Mrs. Masters, for a violent assault.
George? No. You've made some sort of mistake. George wouldn't hurt a fly.
But you won't get him back. I won't let you.
Interview room. Perhaps you care to step into my office, sir.
Check if he's got a record.
Perhaps he'd like to teach me how to suck eggs whilst he's at it.
I was there, Mrs. Masters. Mr. Philpott did nothing to provoke your husband.
Not today, maybe. What's Max doing here, for heaven's sake?
I understand they have a history.
Everyone has a history with Max. He could cause a riot in a monastery. I knew he'd come back one day. I just knew he couldn't leave it. They used to be best friends in the same regiment, 10 years or more. And when I finally left Max, George used to come round to check I was okay.
He stole my wife. He sat and watched as things went wrong, and the minute my back was turned, he took my wife and my son. He ruined my life.
George and I fell in love. It's as simple as that. He inherited this place, and when he finally left the army, we decided to make a go of it. Jimmy adores him.
And Mr. Philpott?
He went off to Rhodesia. Ian Smith declared UDI. Suspect it suits him to have people to look down on. Well shot of him.
I want to be part of my son's life. I want to show him Africa. A boy should say that.
Your custody issue is a civil dispute, it's not a police matter. What can you hope to gain by making a formal complaint? You're not hurt.
He hit me without provocation. He's a danger to me as I go about my lawful business. Your job is to keep the peace.
Max was a damn good soldier, but those qualities don't necessarily make you a decent human being. He's hurt my family. I lost my temper. I shouldn't have done. I apologise.
Have you ever been convicted of a criminal offence, sir?
No, I've told you, you're not listening!
That's quite a nasty temper you got.
If Max is back, then he's here to cause trouble. And he's started already, hasn't he? Excuse me. Master's Farm. Hello, Carol. What shall I do? Of course, right. I'll meet you there. It started. Jimmy's been hurt. I have to get to Ashfordley Hospital.
You want some water? I've got him exactly where I want him.
Good for you. George Masters does have a record, by the way. Actual bodily harm, 4 years suspended sentence. They're phoning the details over.
Yes! Thanks. Alf, isn't it?
Mr. Ventris, it's best if we preserve the formalities in case you have to arrest me. This is the countryside, lad. The Bush Telegraph works overtime.
I wasn't expecting to see you here.
It's the boy. You think he's being beaten?
Really? We've just arrested his dad, or stepdad, for assault, Phil.
I asked you if you had any convictions. You said no.
He was suspended.
It's still a conviction, sir.
Well, there were extenuating circumstances. I didn't think it counted.
Maybe. Or maybe you deliberately lied to us. I think he lies, PC Younger. And if you lied about that, Mr. Masters, what else are you lying about?
I lost my temper for a minute, that's all. That's all.
I'm very impressed, young David.
Oh, yeah, well, you should be swatting as well.
Yeah, I'm not entering, I told you, not unless there's an emergency.
How can entering a quiz be an emergency?
Exactly.
The bruising's extensive and some of it's quite old. Mary said she didn't notice.
Well, is that possible?
I don't know. I mean, Jimmy's at an age where he is embarrassed by his body. He could have kept himself covered up. Their houseman's done some tests and he wants him to come back again tomorrow to see a specialist.
So there's a chance Jimmy's at risk from George Masters?
We can't assume it, but yeah, there's a chance.
George did not hurt Jimmy. The car bonnet fell down on him, he told you.
I'm afraid the bruising's not entirely consistent with that.
This is Max. This is all Max.
Your ex-husband's had no contact with Jimmy.
It's not George. And I'll prove it to you. Jimmy, tell them that your dad did not hurt you. Go on, love.
Jimmy, the truth now, eh? Did your dad George, well, Jimmy, has he ever hurt you? Well done. That's all we wanted to know. You've been very brave.
There we are, the specialist subjects. So £1 entry fees into the jar, please, and write your name and chosen subject on the pink slips. Bernie?
Lovely moment. Ah, game birds.
Most appropriate, Mrs. Armstrong. I believe you're something of a game bird yourself.
Yes, well, Lord Ashfordley will set the questions in this category.
Might I buy you a drink, my lord? I just want to say thank you for your generosity in putting up the prize money.
Oh, thank you, but I'm just leaving. And be careful, Mrs. Armstrong. Your kind gesture might be construed as a bribe. But not after the answers, I trust.
Oh, as if I would. That would be cheating.
Indeed. But as you're here, do me a favour, would you, and give that to Oscar Blaketon?
I'd be delighted.
Jimmy confirmed that you've hurt him.
He's lying. What did he say exactly?
Look, you've got a violent criminal record. You caused an unprovoked attack, and Jimmy says you hurt him. Do you really want the boy to go through a long interrogation on top of everything else?
The only time I've ever touched Jimmy is when he deserved it.
We have to keep him locked up, don't we? At least until the abuse is confirmed.
Thank you, PC Weatherby, for your comprehensive analysis of the situation. We can hold him on the assault charge. Perhaps he'll be more forthcoming in the morning.
Lord Ashfordley asked me to give you this. Here. Don't you go impugning my honour. As you can see, that envelope is sealed.
I have absolute faith in you, Mrs. Armstrong.
Thanks.
Jimmy? When did your dad hurt you?
It's a secret. I'm not supposed to tell you.
I understand, sweetheart, but now you must.
I stole some crisps from the shop and Dad found out. I asked him not to tell you, and he took his belt to me. I deserved it, but it really hurt, Mum. It was ages ago and I haven't nicked anything since.
There you go.
Cheers.
Ah. Hiya, love. Oh, you had a rough day.
You really don't want to know. That feels better.
You look like you needed that.
Thought it'd be a really quiet day.
Oh, like I said, this place has its ways.
You'll find it quieter at the Met. Have I been a bit, you know, bull in a china shop?
A bit.
I get that when I'm nervous. I'm sorry if you know what I mean.
I bet you picked up a serious darts habit in Northallerton. Do you fancy a game?
Oh, you're on. I warn you, I'm quite competitive.
Oh, really?
I wanted to thank you, Constable, for your help today.
Oh, it's my job. And it worked out rather well, didn't it?
You're still in custody?
Well, not just because of the assault. Turns out he was violent at home, too. You were right to come back for your son.
It was just a punishment. Jimmy deserved it. He said so. Punishments have to hurt a bit. Don't the kids expect it? This will make a difference, won't it?
I'll report it.
I'm so relieved. I was imagining all sorts. It just didn't make any sense to me. Excuse me.
Are you going to ask me in? Morning, Constable.
Do you want me to stay?
Oh, there's no need.
Yes, please.
What's the matter, Mary? Frightened I'll be angry? That you let that scum you married beat my son black and blue?
Why would you allege something like that?
As my dad always said, ask a policeman. Your colleague was very helpful. Any chance of a brew, Mary?
Tell us about your conviction, George.
Suspended sentence, assault.
Yes. On Max Philpott. Something you forgot to mention.
I was upset when I heard. I feel things deeply, Mary. You know that.
You haven't thought about Jimmy in 4 years.
Only every day. I came back to see him. He's old enough to understand now what went on. I want to be part of his life.
You were that all right, and look how it turned out.
There's no need to be like this. I'm here to rescue Jimmy.
I rescued him from you.
Does George hit you as well? Is that what you're scared to admit?
Get out, Max.
I've got a farm near Bulawayo. It's beautiful. In the spring, the trees are full of purple blossom. It's very safe, good English schools. Jimmy will love it there. You want what's best for Jimmy, don't you?
You not do this. You always do this.
I'll get custody. Once the authorities know about George, you must see I can't leave my son in the hands of a monster.
You're the monster. Now get out.
I'll come back, Mary. Expect me.
Max used to beat both of them. Jimmy was terrified. Mary still has scars. Anyway, after they were divorced, I went round there one day. Max had Mary by the wrist. He was forcing her hand towards the cooker. The gas was on. She was whimpering like an animal. I had to protect her.
You're alleging Mr. Philpott was violent?
I'm not alleging, it's a fact. I stopped him, he took me to court, they found me guilty. But I don't regret it. In fact, I'm proud of it.
Do you see what he's like?
Everything he said was calm and reasonable.
That's how he works. He always sounds reasonable. He just pushes it a bit further each time until there's no way out but his. The first time he hit me, I was ready to leave. Taught me round, convinced me that it was my fault, time and again. And then he started on Jimmy. I fought for him, and George defended us. Please, you've got to help me keep Max away from my boy.
Unless he actually breaks the law.
He doesn't want Jimmy, he wants to hurt me. I left him, see, and that's not allowed. Ta-da!
Oh, Gina. I think it's best I do this as myself.
You promised Lord Ashfordley.
The Master Stories match. History of domestic violence with Max Philpott, chief villain.
Yeah, but Philpott couldn't have caused the bruising.
Perhaps she has a thing for violent men. Maybe George is kicking 7 shades out the kid and she's covering for him.
She wouldn't do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 7:30, and so without further ado, here's your host, Mr. Hughie Green!
Go on.
No, I can't do this, Gina.
You've got to. Get in.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, friends, and I mean that most sincerely. So, who's the first contestant?
Me.
Go!
I'm sorry I've kept you waiting for so long. You'll have to wait overnight for a couple of results, but I have a tentative diagnosis for you, I'm fairly certain.
George didn't hurt Jimmy.
I agree with you. Jimmy has a serious imbalance of red and white blood cells, and one symptom of this is frequent and excessive bruising. The smallest knock can cause a nasty-looking bruise. Mrs. Masters, it's possible that Jimmy has leukemia. Now, I don't want you to panic. Jimmy's condition is serious, but there are some remarkable treatments nowadays. The NHS is the best in the world with this kind of condition. Jimmy stands an excellent chance of making a full recovery. We'll know more in the morning.
To add £16 to the appeal fund, which Irish veterinarian invented the first pneumatic bicycle tyre?
Dunlop.
Correct! Thank you. For £8 on British steam trains, what do Kirtley, Johnson and Dealey locomotives have in common?
Oh, they're all Midland trains.
Correct! So, David, for £32. The answer you gave was George Hughes. The correct answer is Sir Henry Fowler. Sorry, David, that was the wrong answer, but you still go away, having raised £16 for the dialysis machine.
Which means, David, you now have to pay a forfeit.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, statement here and get a sign at the bottom.
I've just had a phone call from Nurse Cassidy. It seems that Jimmy Masters may have leukemia.
Leukemia? No. The poor lad. Well, that explains the bruising.
Well, it almost certainly lets George Masters off the hook. The diagnosis won't be confirmed until the morning, so we'll keep him till then, just in case.
What about Philpott and the kid?
That is not a police matter. But what does concern me greatly is how Philpott found out that George Masters was suspected of domestic violence.
That was me, Sarge. Just sort of slipped out.
Being keen is all well and good, lad. But you'd do better here if you don't run around like a dog, barking one minute and wanting to be patted the next.
Long to reign over us, God save the Queen.
Right then, well, that just leaves Peggy.
Thank you, Sabrina.
No, that's not right. That's not the question I'm expecting.
How could you be expecting a question? I'll repeat the question for £32. Which game bird, thought to be extinct in Scotland by the 18th century, was reintroduced from Scandinavia?
Well, of all the sneaky... the ptarmigan.
You answered the ptarmigan, but the correct answer is...
This isn't fair.
The caper cayley. I'm sorry, Peggy Armstrong from Filey, that was the incorrect answer, but you still go away, having raised £16 for the appeal fund. Which means the £32 question has not been answered, and nobody gets free drinks.
And your forfeit is...
Oh, don't worry, I'll sing anything you like.
Oh, I'm sure that would be lovely for everyone, Peggy Armstrong. But your forfeit tonight is to do all the washing up.
It's a Swiss.
Sorry I'm so late. How much have we made?
Well, total so far, prize money, entrance fees, £172.
£30 short.
Hey, well, Mr. Scripps, lower goal.
David, please.
Well, you said you would if it was an emergency.
Oh, Bernie, would you? Would you? Please, Bernie. The dialysis machine?
Come on.
Good for you, Bernie, and I mean that most sincerely. If you can get to £32, you'll be laughing.
And you'll get free drinks all night. What category do you want, Bernie?
Well, there's only one of them I can do.
And that is?
The Life and Films of Judy Garland. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
What did the doctor say?
We'll find out in the morning. Hey, everything's gonna be all right.
Bernie from Aidensfield, you have raised £16. Now for £32, which will bring the grand total to £204, and for the free drinks. In which 1963 non-musical film did Judy Garland appear opposite Burt Lancaster?
That was Judgment at Nuremberg.
Oh, I never saw that. It was far too depressing.
Have to hurry you, Bernie.
Yeah, well, they were both in Judgment at Nuremberg, but I think this is a trick question, Oscar.
Huey.
Judgment at Nuremberg was made in 1961. In 1963, they were in... What was it? Not a ghastly child. Child is waiting!
You said A Child is Waiting. And the correct answer is...
He's booked up.
A Child is Waiting!
Wonderful man. Free drinks for Bernie. And Peggy, it's in the kitchen with you. Come on.
It's Kappa Cayley, any road. Not Kaylee.
That's me packed. Didn't have as much as I thought. You can have the bedroom now if you want. I'll be off at the crack tomorrow, so I'll probably keep on the sofa. Hey, cheer up. Miller's given me a hard time more than once.
Yeah. I bet you weren't a bumptious, arrogant idiot who got everything wrong. I just wanted to make my presence felt.
You did that all right.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Putting up the team list today. Is my football shirt clean?
Yeah, it's on the dryer.
Come on, someone's at the door.
I know. Will you just check that your football socks don't smell too bad?
Mum?
Hi, Mary.
He's got it, hasn't he?
Do you know when my dad's coming home?
I don't think it'll be long now.
Good. Come on, Mum, I'll be late.
Jimmy. Sit down for a minute, could you? Your mum and I have something to talk to you about.
You're free to go, Mr. Masters.
So it's leukemia then?
Yes. I'm really sorry.
What you should be sorry about was keeping me locked up when my family needed me.
George, I'll give you a lift home.
It's the blue pair of pyjamas and the red.
2 pairs? How long am I going to be there?
Always have a spare of everything.
I've come for my answer.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Wrong answer! I've had Jimmy put on my passport. I'm going to show him Africa.
Over my dead body.
We're leaving today. There's a ticket for you as well. Jimmy's in danger here.
He's in danger, but not from George. He has leukemia. They're taking him in today as an emergency.
There are hospitals in Rhodesia.
He's staying here. And look, maybe when this is all over, you know, he can come and see you if that's what he wants.
No, Mary! That's not the plan! You've had him for 4 years. It's my turn.
I'm not scared of you anymore.
Of course you are. Admit it.
You don't care if Jimmy lives or dies.
You do.
Go on. Show me what a big man you are.
You left me.
But George, we had to investigate. You know that, don't you?
Don't ask me to forgive you, Constable. Just get me home.
Fetch Jimmy.
I'm not going to help you, Max.
Fetch Jimmy! Put it down, son.
Run.
Oh! Mum!
Come here! Get out! Get him! Get him!
Aidensfield Police.
Come on. Hey!
Turn right out of here.
Get off! No. You're not going to take you. No!
Get out! Out! Give me the keys to the Land Rover. Now!
You'll rot in hell, do you know that? No, please let him go! Please!
Jimmy!
Let him go! Dad!
I'm your dad, Jimmy. Remember that.
Let him go. You don't want any arguments with me.
Pull the gun down, Mr. Philpott. If you're the best the British police force can offer these days, then we're doomed.
Back off!
Be sensible, Mr. Philpott. Just calm down,
I'm
all
not
right?
afraid to shoot! Jimmy, run!
Jimmy! Jimmy!
You! Give me the keys to the car.
No chance. Go on, think of the consequences.
It's too late now. I either win or lose.
Then let the boy go.
Make me.
I will if I have to.
Oh, fancy being a hero, do you, Constable?
It's Max, isn't it? Hey, come on. Just give it up. You're outnumbered. You've only got one cartridge.
That's right. Human him. Talk him down. I've been trained to, you know.
Just give it up before anything terrible happens.
It already has. Mary left me.
I know how that feels. I do, Max. The pain goes away. It does. It will. Jimmy, go back to your mother. Go on!
No!
Phil! No! No!
I've got you.
Oh, what am I doing today?
Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to make me a canoration, a deep forest green. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Snow-crested brown, without no seam. Blankets and words that shall lament. She'll be a true love of mine. Aware of a cloudy and calm. Are you going to Scarborough Fair?
You saw Gina?
Parsley, sage,
How did you take it?
and thyme.
you, Sergeant.
We're going to finish our drinks. To Phil.
To Phil. Phil.
No, he was head of geography. Well liked by pupils, parents, everyone.
There's a vacancy here in Ashford.
What, Phil Bellamy's job?
He was one of those unsung heroes.
I've never felt such guilt.
Oh, you're a doctor.